Two men missing at sea, one has been found, and tonight there is a desperate search for the other. And a broad daylight murder in the city, but was an 18-year-old simply killed for his shiny chain? We'll have the latest. Plus, from hairdresser to weapons dealer, we'll have a story of Maria Estela Racinius and how she ended up bidding to provide the BDF with M4 carbine rifles and almost 100,000 rounds of ammunition. Also, it was almost midnight in the House of Representatives, but sparks flew on Friday night. Landy Habet went Darth Vader and said long-term logging licensee Arturo Pulido is my son. Details of these and other stories in our newscast for tonight, Monday, August 3rd, 2026. Good evening. With your news, I'm Indra Craig.
This newscast is brought to you by Cellular World, your authorized Samsung distributor.
At Cellular World, we believe technology shouldn't just be functional. It should make your home uniquely yours. Design your smart home with the full range of Samsung appliances and TVs. Equip your kitchen with smart and stylish fridges, advanced microwaves, and whisper-quiet dishwashers, bringing smart living to the heart of your home. Make daily tasks simple with efficient smart washers, powerful dryers, or an all-in-one laundry hub that adapts to your lifestyle. Experience true-to-life colors and spot-on sound with the Samsung Q LED Smart TV. Connect all your spaces instantly with the Smart Thing app for seamless control wherever you go. Get all your Samsung products today with the peace of mind that only the 1-year warranty from the authorized distributor can give you. So stop by your favorite location and start designing your smart home today. Only at Cellular World.
Her phone, her laptop, her whole life in this apartment. If anything happens, it's more than just a loss. It's everything. RF&G Renters Insurance helps protect what matters most, even when you don't own the place.
Dengue and Zika alert. Do your part by preventing mosquito breeding. The Ministry of Health reminds the public that as we enter the rainy season, be aware of the dangers of dengue, chikungunya, and Zika. These are infectious diseases that are transmitted by the bite of Aedes aegypti and Aedes albopictus mosquitoes. These mosquitoes are most active in early morning and late afternoon. Activities that should be done to prevent dengue and Zika include: avoid having containers that can collect water in your yard. Cover water storage containers such as drums. Change the water in flower pots every 4 or 5 days. These are ideal breeding sites for the mosquito. With the elimination of breeding sites in and around the yard, dengue and Zika can be avoided. Dengue and Zika begin with sudden onset of high fever. Other signs and symptoms include rash, joint pain, eye pain. The public is also encouraged to use mosquito repellent spray or lotion on the body or clothing. Do your part by preventing mosquito breeding. A health and wellness message from your Ministry of Health.
What we see on the streets today begins in the home. It begins with family. Children who grow up in a stable environment where they can play and learn safely are the building blocks of strong communities. To construct those strong communities, our country needs real men. A lot of youth growing up don't understand what that is. Real men are providers and protectors. Real men are responsible and hardworking. Real men spend quality time with their families and raise strong children with values. They teach their children honesty and integrity, discipline and commitment, love of country, accountability for their actions, right and wrong. Real men run things. Aspire to be a real man today, because gang life isn't it. Gang life is no life.
A message from the Ministry of Home Affairs and the Violence Prevention and Enforcement Unit.
People don't travel with cash anymore. People would stop and they want to do a coffee tour, they want to buy coffee, but people don't have cash with them. Online banking facilitated a lot of what we do. I don't have to run to town and I have to use fuel and other expenses. Atlantic Bank actually approached us. They facilitated us with a bank account, which is something that we didn't have in hand, and then with a POS machine. I sit and sip my good cup of coffee and do payments.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Rev up your engines at Puma Energy and get ready for an exciting chance to fuel, fill, and win. For every $30 purchase on fuel, a liter of lubricant, or $10 at Super 7, get a ticket to win one of 20 fuel prizes of $1,000. And here's the thrill. Fill up with premium Clean Tech Pro and double your chances of winning. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity. Head to Puma Energy and Super 7 today for your chance to fuel, fill, and win.
Look here, your kitchen light, Diana, you never in the kitchen.
But I'm going back in there right now.
And the coffee maker?
Just to try keep my coffee warm for later.
Where do you know?
I'll try to think more to eat.
You know the more you open or close the fridge, it takes longer for the food cool.
Uh-huh.
For a hot day like today, it burns more energy. You charge your phone right now?
No.
Plug it out then. You really only wash 2 Lee socks and 1 Lee shirt? You don't know what small load burn the same amount of electricity as large loads?
But this is my favorite shirt.
You have to be more energy efficient. Use large loads. This AC, they blow hard. You know, if you keep the temperature at 25 degrees Celsius or higher, you burn less energy and you also keep the place cool. And for a nice day like today, turn off the AC, open up the house and make some fresh breeze come in.
You know what? I think I get it now. As consumers, we need to be more energy efficient and practice energy conservation.
Please, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Tonight, a search and rescue operation is underway off the coast of Sandhill resident Samuel Chi after a routine fishing trip took a dark turn. 2 men were initially reported missing, while fellow villager and fishing buddy Albert Vacario was found at midday today dehydrated and disoriented. Chi remains unaccounted for. The Belize Coast Guard and partner agencies continue to scour the area in an increasingly desperate search. Jaleesa Roberts has the details.
Albert Vaccaro and Samuel Chi left Vista del Mar at approximately 2 p.m. yesterday, intending to travel to Key Cocker on a fishing trip. The pair was expected to return to mainland by 7 p.m. yesterday. When they failed to arrive and relatives were unable to establish contact, police were notified, which triggered a multi-agency search and rescue operation. We spoke to the operations officer for the Belize Coast Guard, who explained what happened next.
Coast Guard launched a joint operation as of 9 a.m. this morning as a result of the 2 missing persons. Therefore, this joint operation was conducted by the Belize Coast Guard, the Belize Port Authority, and the Fisheries Department. At around 11:30 a.m. this morning, Mr. Albert Vaccaro was located southwest of Pixkey, approximately 10 miles north of Belize City. He was about 5 miles away from the coastline. Mr. Vaccaro was found floating in that area where he was rescued, recovered from the water by the Belize Coast Guard Patrol. He was found dehydrated and disoriented. He was then transported to the Belize Coast Guard Medic Center, where our medics conducted an initial medical assessment on his condition, where he was given basic assistance for rehydration. And of course, he was recommended by our medics to be transported to the KHMH, where he was later transported to receive further medical assistance.
The area between Belize City and Keycocker is among the country's most heavily traveled marine corridors. So what happened to these men is anyone's guess, as Vaccaro is still disoriented and incoherent.
Mr. Vaccaro was interviewed. However, due to his condition and his state of mind when he was found, he was disoriented. He's still trying to ascertain what really happened to him. So therefore, we were not able to get much information from him. Priority was given to his health, so he was sent to KHMA to receive further assistance. And thereafter, we will continue to follow and gather information with him with the assistance of the police department. We will continue to investigate this and try to locate Mr. Samuel Chi.
And earlier, there were reports circulating on social media that both men had been found safely. But the Coast Guard is warning against these false reports.
The Coast Guard is the lead maritime search and rescue agent. Therefore, if it's not from us, then it's not legitimate. I'm aware of information going around stating that the both persons were found. However, we have reached out to several entities confirming this information. We have done several searches in areas, calls to confirm this is true, but none or no one can confirm the location of Mr. Samuel Chi. So therefore, the Coast Guard is still searching for Mr. Chi and can confirm that he is still missing.
Jolise Roberts, 7 News.
The Coast Guard will release updates as they become available. A teenager was murdered in the St. Martin's area this afternoon, allegedly for a gold chain that he was wearing. It happened just feet away from the St. Martin's de Porres Church. At around 1:15 p.m., the teen was on a motorcycle on Vernon Street when he briefly stopped by Swift Hall on his motorcycle, where gunmen pounced. Police cameras in the area captured the entire shooting, and they are seeking two suspects tonight. Jo Marie Lanza reports.
A dozen police officers and at least 4 police mobiles were active in the Martins area just after 1:30 p.m. when reports of a shooting beside the Swift Hall complex came in. When we arrived at the scene, investigators had already cordoned off the scene and police were in the process of redirecting traffic. And all that was visible to pedestrians and motorists was the large dark circle of blood stained onto the pavement. The aftermath of a fatal shooting, along with a motorcycle and helmet where the victim is said to have been targeted, allegedly for a shiny chain he was sporting. ASP Smith gave us a breakdown of what occurred at the scene.
Police have detained one male person and are seeking another in connection with a shooting incident which resulted in the murder of 18-year-old Ewart Hernandez of Lords Bank Village Police District. The investigation commenced today, 3rd August 2026 at around 1:15 p.m. when officers on patrol were alerted to the sound of a shooting in Belize City. A team of officers responded to the scene where they observed an injured Mr. Hernandez, who was subsequently rushed for. He succumbed to the injury that he sustained. What the investigators have been able to establish so far, the footage in the area, is that Hernandez was traveling on Vernon Street near the intersection with Partridge Street when he stopped on the side of the road and remained on his motorcycle. Some minutes later, he was approached by two male persons, and one of those male persons produced a firearm and fired a single shot, which struck Hernandez. Police were able to apprehend a male person who matched the description of one of the suspects, and that person remains in detention as police investigation continues.
Can you say what is the motive and if any sort of robbery?
No motive has been established so far.
There are reports that he had a chain on him that was possibly taken off his person.
That is not information that is in my possession. I will have to make further inquiries. The report that I received showed just what I shared.
Shortly after Hernandez was pronounced dead at the KHMH, we found the grieving family outside the emergency wing. The mother of the 18-year-old was inconsolable, and though police cannot confirm whether Hernandez was targeted for his jewelry, ASP Smith confirmed that the teen had no gang or criminal affiliations.
What I will say is that the person that is in police's custody is someone that is known to police. Mr. Hernandez is not particularly known to police. I want to assure everybody that police operation will be done within the confines of the law as the investigation continues.
Jo Marie Lanza, 7 News.
We'll let you know when the arrests follow. For weeks, we've been following the story of the fleecing of the BDF. We've shown you the ridiculous prices paid to politically favored companies for food and weapons. But tonight the story is different. It's about the hairdresser who almost became a weapons dealer. Jules Vasquez has the story of Maria Estelle Racinios and the BDF weapons supply contract that got away.
Maria Estela Racinios is a well-known, long-established and highly successful hairdresser in San Ignacio. But in January of this year, she was approached to become a BDF supplier. Sources tell us she was offered to supply from a list like this. It includes 56,000 rounds of 5.56 assault rifle ammunition, 35,000 rounds of 9mm ammunition, 30 M4 carbine rifles, night vision goggles, medevac stretchers, a specialized boat engine, body armor, among other things. Now, under what circumstances would this highly specialized equipment come to be bid upon by a hairdresser? Our sources say Maria Estela Racinios had a connect who offered it to her. She disputed that and told us that she learned of the contract through her business network and decided to make a bid, which did require getting a license as a gun dealer. Our sources say she was calling gun dealers offering to partner with them. She knew nothing about acquiring and importing guns and military hardware, but again had the ministry connect. She told us she was approached by dealers after she became a licensed dealer herself, but claimed she also had her own trade connections. Eventually, she made the bid under a company named K&M Construction, and she says she just never heard back, so that, for her, was the end of it. She said she then realized she wasn't too interested in that field. It is an interesting tale, the hairdresser who almost became a weapons dealer. But Maria Estela says she's just an aggressive single mom businesswoman.
The chairman of the Firearms and Ammunition Control Board, Francis Usher, told us that K&M Construction Limited is a licensed gun dealer, but, quote, has never supplied the Ministry of National Defense and Border Security, the Belize Defense Force, or the Belize Coast Guard with any weapons or specialized military equipment. But as viewers will know, it's not just weapons and equipment. The scrutiny surrounds meats, spices, boots, and more. And that's exactly why the Mesopotamia area rep Lee Mark Chang rose to speak on the matter during the House meeting's adjournment, which went very late on Friday. But during his speech, he especially highlighted the sub-$10,000 payments. Here's what he said.
This matter concerns the protection of public money. It concerns the integrity of government procurements. It concerns politically connected businesses and family relationships and more. And most importantly, it concerns the soldiers of the Belize Defense Force who put their lives on the line to protect this country, while others may be using the Ministry of Defense as a place to make easy, squeezy money, guaranteed money. Let me make my position clear from the beginning, Mr. Speaker. Our soldiers deserve a proper meal, nice hot meal, even if the baby back ribs and jumbo shrimps. They deserve quality equipment. They deserve reliable boots, uniform, weapons, and food supplies. The opposition will never object to spending money on the welfare of men and women of the Belize Defense Force. But supporting our soldiers does not mean giving anyone permission to overcharge taxpayers. One of the most disturbing features of this controversy is the extraordinary number of payments kept below $10,000. Reports indicate that approximately 96% of the payments questions are below $10,000, Mr. Speaker. That number cannot simply be dismissed as a coincidence, because there's no coincidence. It was planned. Why were almost all these payments structured below that level that ordinarily attracts greater scrutiny? For every delivery, there should be a purchase order, supplier's invoice, delivery note, the name and signature of the officer receiving it, the date and location of delivery, the quantity and weight received, a stock entry record, a kitchen or camp issued record, evidence showing how the food was distributed and consumed. Where are these records, Mr. Speaker?
And the 12-hour House meeting ended after Queen Square area rep rose to criticize the Minister of Sustainable Development. He first highlighted the allegations of bribery against Deputy Chief Forest Officer John Pinello. Then he pivoted to the 30-year logging license that the ministry granted Orlando Habet's son. Here's how that went.
Deputy Forest Officer Pinello did give an interview in which he defended himself. And it's the most obscene defense I've ever had to listen to. Seriously, as an attorney, I would advise him for free. And I can't believe how nobody advised him for free. Keep your mouth shut because it makes you sound fool on TV. Then a bank transfer. Remember, it's to his personal account, so I'll give you his defense. According to Deputy Forest Officer John Pinello, that was payment for computers for his business, PC.com. This is a joke, seriously. If we want to get serious about corruption, this is an absolute joke. You have a business account, you pay to the business account. In fact, you go to try to deposit a business check into a personal account, the bank blocks you, immediately tells you why. And we still have to listen to this today. Imagine, I listened to the minister himself glorify the Deputy Forest Officer in a moment when he's really in the most corruptible position a public servant can be placed in. You cannot get it any worse than that in an allegation. And you're glorifying him for all that he has done in the past. It's almost like you're blind. The matter becomes even more concerning when viewed alongside another issue that again is widely reported by Jules Vasquez. Info reaching us in the opposition is that the minister's son, Art Polido, don't know him at all. I'm just reporting as I get it. Is also a shareholder of this company, Arch Timbers, who received a 30-year logging license through the Forestry Department. In a reserve? No. In a reserve? Well, hell. No. You have ministers giving contract to brothers. You have ministers, their department, giving contract So, son, is this the policy of this government?
And just before the close, almost at midnight, Habet defended the logging license. But more than that, he confirmed that logging license recipient Arturo Pulido is his son. And despite the accusations of favored contracts, he still loves his boy.
Before you make an accusation, you need to get educated, learn. Look at this. This
Member
is
from Albert and Queen Square.
Three sheets of paper that speaks about the process for forest licenses for sustained yield long-term forest license. Let me read the first two sentences for you. It says, long-term forest licenses are licenses for sustained working of timber. This applies to forests in forest reserves. Reserves are for forest logging licenses. Now, if you go into a national park, that's something else.
Member
if you
from
go into a
Albert.
nature reserve, that's something else. This is the problem with you, and that's why the Prime Minister have to discipline you every minute, because you know the people time for talk, man. Huh? You want to talk when people talk.
Members.
Speaker, on a point of order, Mr. Speaker. When the other side is talking, we're listening to them. The honorable member from Albert is one of the worst offenders. When she is talking, we listen to her.
Member from Albert. Member from Albert. Member from Albert. Standing out of. Please, let's stick to it.
The next concern they had is that on 30 years. Well, let me read this. It says the duration of a long-term forest license extends from 20 to 40 years, and the types of forest licenses and permits issued under this category include long-term forest licenses and long-term private forest permits. So, yes, Arturo Pulido is my son, and what you and Jules were trying to do, you wanted to push me to say that he is not my son. You wanted me to deny him as my son because he has a different surname. Well, you know what? Arturo Pulido is my son, and I am proud of him, and I love him. Thank you.
We'll have a little more from the After Hours House meeting later in the news, but first we'll tell you about a Toledo pastor who's facing serious jail time after he was convicted of rape. That's coming up after the break.
Please, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Hi, my name is Megan, and I'm a civil engineer here at M&M Engineering. Behind every successful production process in our factory come quality materials, skilled employees, and reliable equipment. Specifically, rebar and pre-stressing cable from Benny's, which are the building blocks of our products.
Not all rebar and steel are created equal. At Benny's, quality is savings, because building with trusted materials means building stronger, safer, and longer.
Through Benny's Enterprises and Banquet, M&M Engineering has access to the highest quality products and heavy-duty machinery that help us improve efficiency, maintain productivity, and provide the most reliable solutions to our clients.
Best for you and best for me. At Benny's, it's the quality. Benny's, quality and savings.
Finally, a postpaid plan for 3 people. Introducing Smart Trio. Why pay for mobile service alone when you can share and save? Get unlimited national calls, texts, plus 100 gigabytes of shared data. And the best part? It's only $135. That's right, as low as $45 per person. Perfect for small families, couples, or close friends. Smart Trio. 3 lines, 1 smart choice. Sign up now and you could win a trio getaway to San Pedro for 3. Visit us at www.smart-bz.com for more information or sign up at any showroom today. Smart, bringing people together.
Need to submit your sickness benefit claim online and have a physical medical certificate? Here's how you can do it. First, go to ssbportal.org.bz and log into your My Social Security account. Next, on your dashboard, click Benefits and choose Forms. Review the requirements, then click Continue to proceed. Click Apply under Sickness Benefit to start your claim. Review and confirm your banking information. If it is not correct, select No and follow the steps to update your banking details. If your banking information is correct, select Yes. Next, if your illness is not related to an injury at work, select No and proceed to upload your medical certificate. Select your claim period and confirm your employer details. Read the declarations and click each to agree. Click Submit and you're done. A confirmation email will be sent to you. Your employer will also receive an email with your claim details and a request for your salary information. If needed, submit your sickness benefit claim online and receive real-time status updates.
The world is watching. The stakes are high. And with an Atlantic Bank credit card, your moments start online.
Bro, tickets just dropped.
I have my credit card ready. So how many tickets, guys?
We'll take 2.
1, 2.
I want 3.
Go further, experience more. Make your online purchases seamless, secure, and in real time.
All right, let's buy the tickets now. What did you do, bro? I need to enter a password.
Oh, Atlantic Bank's credit card has a 3D secure feature to protect your online shopping.
Check your email.
Some transactions require an additional layer of security. 3D Secure adds an extra verification step. An OTP is sent to ensure it is you authorizing payment.
Guys, we got the ticket!
Yes! Your online transactions, made with Atlantic Bank credit cards, are fast, safe, and verified.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Un momento, todo es perfecto. Pero la vida puede cambiar inesperadamente. Cuando ocurre lo inesperado, estar asegurado con ICB lo cambia todo. ICB está aquí para guiarte en cada paso del proceso. La vida pasa rápido. Protégete con la Insurance Corporation of Belize. Para más información, llama 224-5328 o 224-5329 o visita icbinsurance.com.
Welcome to the V Department Store. We are conveniently located on Coney Drive in Belize City. That's right on Coney Drive in Belize City. At the V Department Store, we offer a wide variety of groceries, cosmetics, kitchen appliances, kitchenware, electronics, and more. We've also recently expanded to the second floor to better meet your household and office furniture needs. We now have a wide variety of furniture, home decor, and accessories. We have a shared vision for a comfortable and customer-friendly shopping experience. Visit us today and be warmly greeted by our reasonable prices and cordial staff. The V Department Store. Experience the ultimate shopping destination.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
One of the most senior pastors in Toledo and former head of the National Evangelical Association of Belize, Pastor Victor Wagner Hernandez, was today found guilty of 2 counts of rape and 1 count of sexual assault by Justice Antoinette Moore in Punta Gorda. He was charged for rape and sexual assault upon a 35-year-old woman in 2024. She endured threats before she made the complaint, and during the trial, she broke down during her testimony, and it had to be adjourned briefly. In the end, though, Justice Moore found her to be credible and declared Hernandez guilty. He will be sentenced in a week's time, and the 67-year-old could face a sentence of not less than 8 years with a maximum of life imprisonment. Hernandez, who recently had a stroke, was represented by Leslie Hamilton. The case was prosecuted by Assistant DPP Javier Cham. It has been on pause for months, but just as we predicted, shortly after SSB chairlady Chandra Nisbet exited, the moving hands behind the BTL acquisition of SpeedNet have brought it back to the table. As a 34% shareholder in BTL, Social Security Board was the most significant holdout, saying they needed more information before agreeing to support the acquisition. Well, she's gone now, and the board met on Friday. There has been no official word, but reports suggest Social Security's Board of Directors has voted to support the acquisition. And that's why tonight the Belize Chamber of Commerce, who has a representative on the board, is calling for an immediate halt to BTL's proposed buyout of SpeedNet. Chamber officials warned that merging the nation's top telecommunications providers would effectively create a state-backed monopoly. The pushback follows BTL's decision to move forward using a valuation based on just a single year of financial records. BCCI President Giacomo Sanchez warns that the acquisition would leave consumers vulnerable to higher prices, diminished service, and slower innovation. The Chamber is now urging the government and regulators to block the acquisition until a full 5-year financial audit is conducted and formal merger regulations are put in place. And the Chamber isn't the only major group taking a stand against the deal. The National Trade Union Congress of Belize is also reiterating its firm opposition to BTL's buyout of SpeedNet. Union leaders say that despite a previously announced government pause, key concerns regarding legality, valuation, independence, and worker protections remain completely unanswered. In a written response to a letter last week from the union umbrella group, BTL Chairman Mark Helm Lizarraga pushed back, asserting that stakeholder consultations were held and due diligence was independently verified. Lizarraga added that responsibility now rests with the Public Utilities Commission, and BTL will abide by the regulator's final decision. Police are investigating a weekend drowning involving a Guatemalan national in Belmopan. It happened Sunday morning, and ASP Smith gave us more details on what they found at the scene that may have contributed to the drowning.
Police are investigating the apparent drowning of 38-year-old Rudy Bernabe Toj, a Guatemalan national of Otosara Street, Belmopan City, which occurred on Sunday, 2nd August 2026. The investigation commenced at around 7:30 a.m. on the mentioned date when officers were called to a creek in the San Martin area of Belmopan City. The investigators reported that upon their arrival, they observed the motionless body of Toj and efforts were made to resuscitate him. However, they proved futile. Also observed on the scene was a transparent bottle containing alcohol, which is believed was consumed by Toj before he entered the water. The body of Toj now awaits a postmortem examination.
And on that same morning in the Orange Walk district, police responded to another drowning that occurred in the Honeycamp Lagoon area. The deceased is said to have been doing some early morning fishing when their canoe capsized. ASP Smith explained what police know so far.
Police are investigating the apparent drowning of 44-year-old Luciano Acosta of Orange Walk Tongue, which occurred on Sunday, 2nd August. The investigation commenced at around 8:30 a.m. on the aforementioned date when investigators were called to the Honeycamp Lagoon area in Orange Walk Tongue. At this location, they encountered the unresponsive body of Mo, which was partially submerged among a mangrove patch. What the investigators have established so far is that Mo was along with friends and family members, and they had gone on an outing in the Honeycamp Lagoon area on Saturday, August 1st, and sometime at around 3 o'clock a.m. on the 2nd of August, he and another male person entered a canoe and went on a fishing trip. It is reported that the canoe that they were in reportedly capsized, and whilst the other male person was able to swim to a mangrove patch and was subsequently rescued, Mr. Acosta was not found until a few hours later in the stated location. The body of Mr. Acosta now awaits a post-mortem examination.
A pregnant 22-year-old Belize City woman was found dead in her home Sunday morning. But at this time, foul play is not suspected and police are treating the case as a death investigation. Here's what SP Smith shared with us about the demise of the woman known as Kimmy Boo.
Police are investigating the death of 22-year-old Kimmy Garbott of Belize City. The investigation commenced on 2nd August 2026 at around 9:30 a.m. when investigators were called to a residence on Vernon Street, and the body of Garbott, which had already begun to decompose, was discovered. What the investigators have learned is that Garbott, who was with child, was last seen alive at around 7 o'clock a.m. on 1st August 2026, at which time she indicated to a friend that she was not feeling well. The friend visited her at around 9 o'clock a.m. on the 2nd, and after calls to her went unanswered, he entered the apartment building and made the discovery and subsequently alerted police. The body of Ms. Garbott now awaits a post-mortem examination. No foul play is suspected at this time. However, as I stated, a post-mortem examination will be conducted.
A 23-year-old San Jose Secaucus man is in police custody after he chopped his own grandmother and received a village vigilante beatdown for it. ASP Smith explained that the accused is alleged to have been experiencing mental health issues.
Police have detained a 23-year-old male of San Jose Secaucus in connection with a chopping incident which resulted in the grievous harm of a 62-year-old female relative of that male person. The investigation commenced on Saturday, 1st August at around 7:30 p.m. when police were alerted of the incident at a residence in the village. The elderly female was rushed for medical attention, where she is now listed in a stable condition. Efforts by police and community members led to the apprehension of the male person, who is in custody. What we have learned so far is that the male person may have been undergoing a mental health crisis, and when the female relative sought to aid him, she was injured.
Two men are said to be seriously injured after a road traffic accident this evening. It occurred sometime around 5 near the Hullover Bridge. Details are scarce at the moment, but the accident involved two SUVs. We can also confirm that one of the victims was Emil Zabani. Our news team is on the ground and we will have more information when it becomes available. Early in the news, we showed you parts of the adjournment that occurred sometime around 9 on Friday night. Well, the leader of the opposition also rose to speak about the audit currently being conducted on the Ministry of Defense. She explained that this isn't a matter that should be taken lightly and that the accusations against the government are grave. She also stated that it wasn't about politics, but rather protecting the people's money. And then she asked GOB for a fair and transparent audit. Here's how that went.
I can speak conclusively to information I have been given. So I can assure you, the opposition is not asking anyone to prejudice guilt. We're demanding, we're asking just for due process. We're asking for transparency. We're asking for independent forensic audits where it becomes necessary. We're asking that every oversight institution established under our laws be permitted, resourced, and protected to perform its work free from political interference. If no wrongdoing has occurred, independent investigations will confirm that fact. If wrongdoing has occurred, those responsible, regardless, and I want you to hear me clearly, regardless of political affiliation or public office, must be held accountable under the law.
But the PM didn't take too kindly to the accusations and then started pulling out receipts of his own. He delved into the matter of Brad's Gaming Group's unpaid taxes and put some of the blame on Panton. And that sparked several back and forth arguments within an already late meeting.
And curiously, Mr. Speaker, do you know who was the architect behind Brad's Gaming Group Limited, Mr. Speaker? It's no other than the leader of the opposition. She was the one in charge of that process. When, Mr. Speaker, I did not interrupt the leader of the opposition the entire time. What's the point of order? What's the point of order? What's the point of order? I'm asking.
Member from Albert, can you please share the point of order?
He will not continue to stand in this house.
That is not a point of order, Mr. Speaker.
Improper motives against him. He will not get to do that because he knows that is a deliberate misrepresentation of the truth.
As I was explaining, Mr. Speaker, that the leader of the opposition has no moral standing to come here and make these kinds of allegations. Because when she was in government and she could have done a difference, she did none. She was part of the government that approved a 10-year license to Brad's Gaming Group Limited. And you know, Mr. Speaker, that under the borough administration, these two companies were not being assessed by the Belize Tax Service. And when you ask the people in charge of Brad's Gaming Company and Brad's Gaming Group Limited. Now this is a member from Mesopotamia when you were talking about DFC and the name change when we're trying to do, this was simply just to try to cover the eye, to try to defraud and say, oh, there are different groups to work with, but they're the same people that deal with the Bolido. And the leader of the opposition, she was in charge in the Ministry of Economic Development when they were, you're in charge of part of the committee.
I did not interrupt you. No, I will interrupt you. I will interrupt you.
Member of
and
Albert.
I will continue to operate you. We could stay until midnight, I don't care. But he will not continue to impute improper motives against a member in this house that is baseless. He will not do that, not because he's called the Prime Minister, because he is compromised. He is compromised, but he will not do that to me. There is nothing in the records that would validate anything that he has said in this National Assembly as it relates to my involvement.
At the top of Friday's House meeting, several bills were brought for second reading, including the Criminal Code Amendment. This will provide public accessibility to the National Sex Offenders Database, as well as end camera proceedings for certain offenses. The bill was supported by both sides, but the leader of the opposition did have a few concerns.
The query, member for Freetown, is looking at the support mechanisms to have the bill operationalized, if you will. Things like sufficient trained investigators, forensic capacity, adequate victim support services, counselor shelters, DNA testing, specialized prosecutors, victims, other forms of victim support.
I know that there are a number of ministries have been engaged in this work and in putting this bill together, a great number of stakeholders. And I think everybody has recognized that point and everybody has pledged their support to making sure that we don't only have the legislation in place, but that in fact we are able to provide the supporting infrastructure and resources to effectively implement that legislation. So your point is well taken. We fully appreciate that. And everybody, I can tell you, on this side, Ministry of Human Development in particular, we are all committed to making sure that we do everything possible to provide the resources and infrastructure to give meaningful effect to this legislation.
The National Honors Award Act amendment was also introduced in the House and went through its second and third readings, since, according to the PM, time was of the essence as September is quickly approaching. This bill will establish new national honors and awards to recognize Belizeans for bravery, courage, and patriotism. And the first recipient of this award will be Pilot Howell Grange. The PM explained why they needed to amend the act to include him.
As we all know, I think was it the last year, April, when we had a person who had serious mental problems attempted to hijack one of our planes, a local flight. And we believe back then that Mr. Hall Grange acted with incredible bravery. He remained calm at all times and even, played out with this person, letting him believe that, the plane is going to the United States, talking in Spanish for him to believe that they were in Mexican airspace. And it required incredible bravery, incredible calm, and to be cool during that time, and even at the risk of his own life. And I know he was I think he was stabbed a few times. But because of his act of bravery, we managed to save pretty much all of the lives of the people in that plane. And so when we wanted to give him a special award to recognize his bravery, it then came to attention that that there is nothing with the different medals that we have that where we could fit him in to properly recognize what he has done. So what we are doing, Mr. Speaker, is with this Honors and Awards Act, it is establishing a mechanism to be able to recognize people who have rendered outstanding and meritorious service to our nation.
We'll take a break now. When we come back, we'll have highlights of Saturday's Emancipation Day festivities in the city. Don't go away.
This newscast is brought to you by Cellular World, your authorized Samsung distributor.
The roads of Belize connect us all. Riders, drivers, families, friends. Every day begins with a little routine and the confidence that life's journeys are protected. From school drop-off through the daily grind and everything in between, each with different roads ahead, yet one common goal: to arrive safely. Atlantic Insurance stands with Belize's riders and motorists with affordable protection, support, and peace of mind for the journey ahead. For the roads we share and the lives we protect, Atlantic Insurance is by your side, insuring you from life's unexpected. Atlantic Insurance, insuring you from life's unexpected.
Belize is calling for change, and the future is in her hands. Meet our 4 incredible delegates competing for the crown of Miss Earth Belize 2026. Join us for the national pageant on August 8, 2026 at the Belize City Civic Center. Tickets, general admission $10, VIP $100, and ultra VIP tables $1,000. Seating for 5, wine and charcuterie included.
Tickets will be available for purchase at all paid boutique locations, Onyx Beauty Lounge, and Medisco.
Be a part of the movement. Beauty for a cause. Miss Earth Belize 2026.
If you're tired of the baking in your house with the only cook go wawa fan and finally realize that the time to get yourself a good, durable, reliable fan, contact Myers Panel website or social media. Myers going to hook you up with one of their 18-inch heavy-duty tripod fan where might could even change your life as it keep you cool in this hot Belizean weather. Yes man, because their 18-inch heavy-duty tripod fan from Myers not just could blow your lip back way, they might could blow away your mind if you say blow away the toxic konomono out of your life and the bad vibes out of your house. Order your 18-inch heavy-duty tripod fan from Myers website or on their social media, and Myers going to ship out your fan anywhere countrywide ASAP. Not believe me? Visit myerselectronics.bz right now to order your fan today.
These charter means aren't
We're navigating along the coast.
This morning, the 2023
Good evening.
Good evening. I'm Sheree Culsel, and here's what's ahead for you on 7 News Tonight.
We've got details of these and other stories in our newscast for tonight. Good evening. With your news, I'm Indra Craft.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Altoona is one of the most visited Mayan city up until lately. The adjacent communities have collaborated together to see how they can get a space here that the wood carvers could actually market and sell their product. Not having the POS machine in the past, we have lost a lot of sales. Atlantic Bank helps support.
Quarter and 27 points from Josiah Mosley. Belize beat Mexico 90-80. Ahead of the upcoming elections, objections were made against 6 people in the Toledo East Division. These objections claim the voters do not actually live in Punta Gorda town. According to Leroy Banner, who represents the 6 voters, they were trying to transfer from another address within the same constituency.
Once a date falls on a holiday or on a weekend, then the immediate day following afterwards is the applicable date. So essentially that was what was heard today, and the court agreed with our submissions, and so the matter proceeded to be heard. Secondly, we had made an application on Wednesday.
Showcases and traditional dance accompanied by live drumming. Here are the highlights.
The Emancipation Day ceremonies commenced